Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to Down Under Dubs. And on today's video, we're going to be looking at changing out our old spring plates that we have on this on our 65 Beetle for some new adjustable spring plates. So yeah, something pretty exciting. The first time for our channel, we've got ourselves a sponsor. So yeah, Ross from Skin Knuckles down there in Victoria, Australia. He's been kind enough to jump on board and help us out with some 2-inch adjustable rear spring plates for our bug. So as you would know, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, I'm using one of his 6-inch shockless narrow beams. And I tell you what, it is a awesome piece of gear. Amazing engineering on it. And I tell you what, it's just all around good quality. That being said, awesome stuff. A lot of our mates here at Down Under Dubs are using Ross's beams, and I'm sure heaps of you guys throughout Australia, hey, even maybe worldwide, are using some of Ross's products. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to get yourself some high quality Australian made lowering suspension parts for your Volkswagen, hit up Ross down there, or actually hit up Ross at skinknuckles.com.au. Check out his website, jump on there, grab yourself whatever you're needing for your car, rear spring plates, narrowed front beams. So anyway, shout out to Ross down there at Skin Knuckles for being our first sponsor for the channel. So how bloody good. So anyway, with that being said, let's get into the video. Let's get these plates whacked in the car, and let's see how we go with that. Right, so as you guys would have seen on that time lapse, I banged that left hand side on, got that all on there. It seemed to go on pretty good. I've just sort of been mucking about with how much pre-tension to put on it. So it's a bit of a, I'm guessing, I don't have a like a sort of a degree like magnet thing I can put on there. So I've just watched a few guys how they've sort of done it, you know, a rough sort of measurement on when I say rough, like pretty close to what I sort of think it looks, you know, there's enough preload there. And then like the beauty of these, I can adjust them, fine tune them, can't I? Because that's the whole point of having these adjustable spring plates. And I'm sure there's some of you out there that are probably a lot more meticulous than I am. However, I'm sort of doing it my way. So it's not a how-to, just so you guys know, it's not a how-to, it's just me doing my way. And hey, my way might suit you. So Go with my way, go with your way, doesn't really matter. However, that's on, it seems pretty sweet. I basically feel like I've got it to a stock height, really, the stock setting. So it'll just be, yeah, it's already got the 2-inch drop on these, so yeah, I'll just fine tune them up with the little adjusting grub sort of screw that's on there. And we'll go from there, we'll put it down, see how it sits, and yeah, we'll get back to you. So let's carry on, let's get this right hand side done, and we'll see how we end up, eh? Right, so one thing to mention with the spring plates, especially with the adjustable ones like this, is, which I suppose most people probably know, but I sort of didn't work it out straight away. However, you've got to get the larger bushing for the back one, just because of that there. That inner tube there is a little bit bigger to accommodate, you know, the adjustable part. So anyway, I've got the new sort of stock style ones that will go on there that I already had for the car previously with my original spring plates, and I got these, ordered these for the inner one. So hopefully they do the job. So just for future reference for anyone that's doing adjustable spring plates, you're going to need those for the inner bushing. So yeah, anyway, happy days, got those. We'll keep cracking on. Righto guys, so that spring plate is now in there, and I feel like I've got it in the right position. Now I'm just going to preload this up now, and then I'll get that cap on there first, just so it doesn't try to pop off, and then I'll preload that up with my little scissor jack there, tighten that up, and we'll see where that's sitting. Then I'll get this hub assembly and that back on. And yeah, we'll get it all back together, drop it down, see what it's going to look like, and then we can sort of fine tune it from there. Hopefully I don't need to pull it back apart again in case I've sort of got it on the wrong index. This side was already a little bit funny. I feel like I was off a spline from the inner. So I actually just took it out, shimmied it over one spline, and it seems to be better because I actually had made a mark, if you guys can see that line on there, and that looks a lot more up and down, because when I first stripped this car apart years ago, a few years back, I made some marks for reference marks. But anyway, let's keep going, we'll keep cracking on, and we'll see how we get on here. Now these have got these plates that Ross has made. Like I imagine most adjustable spring plates have, they've got heaps of adjustment for the toe, so you can set your toe, you know, obviously when you lower it, it goes up, it's going to go in and sort of, you know, mucks around with your toe of the wheel. So you've got plenty of adjustment, you know, back and forwards. And I've sort of set mine, I sort of had a bit of a memory from where I put mine last time, so I'm sort of hopefully, if they're the same as the other plates, in the way of the adjustment, I'm going to go off what I had before, but again, we'll find out once we get it back down on the ground, and then we can adjust it accordingly from there. Shout out to any companies out there who want to give me a lift. I mean, as in like a car lift. You know how good would a little 2-post? Nah, not even that. Just a nice little scissor lift in the garage. You can just put this up on when you're driving. So anyway, shout out to any companies that want to do that. Hey. Sponsor a fella. breaking me back down here. Too old to be doing this shit. Anyway. Alright guys, there you go. That is in. All bolted up. Just got to put that outer drum on. Cast the nut. Tighten those up. Get the wheel back on it. We'll get it back down on the ground and we'll see where we're at and we can start adjusting away. That was a little bit of a pain getting that on actually, not going to lie. Maybe I had too much preload on it. I'm not too sure. Again, let's get it down on the ground, see where it sits, and then if I've got to adjust it and take it back apart and do it again, I can do it again. Well guys, we've had it back on the ground, been for a drive, done some measurements, and you know what? It's absolutely spot on. Pretty stoked with the outcome. I've probably raised it up, believe it or not, about 10 mil, because I feel like it was just sitting just too low, and it was just like, I didn't have quite the right rake I was after. And it's definitely pre-tensioning those springs, the torsions have helped. They've helped a lot. It rides so much better. I still need new shocks, like I was saying, but in time we'll get those. For now, the ones I got in there, sweet as. It rides just so much better. Anyway, I'll swing around, you can check it out. So yeah, it's not like it's not a drastic change, but it's amazing what that 10 mil difference does in the rear, bringing it up compared to what it was. It was down about 10 mil from there, nearly sitting on the rim, so it was pretty slammed. But yeah, no, I'm pretty stoked. If anything, maybe I could dial in a little bit better and get it to come down a little bit more, maybe another 5 mil or so, but yeah, so for now, I'll probably just, we'll drive it for a bit, let it settle in, let that suspension come back down to sort of where it wants to be. I imagine it'll probably settle in a bit. But yeah, pretty stoked, real stoked with the outcome. Big shout out to Ross. Thanks for that, mate. Awesome, awesome quality spring plates. You guys want to get yourself some, you know what to do. skinknuckles.com.au. And that's it for this video. We'll see you guys on the next one.